Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the weekly message that we have from Inner Light Ministries. This time when we just come to recalibrate, to remember the truth of who we are. I'm Rev D, Reverend Deborah L. Johnson. And as always, it is such a pleasure to be spending this time with you. I'm going to invite you now and throughout our time together to just take a breath. Take a deep cleansing breath. With that breath, we give ourselves permission to be present. With that breath, we remind ourselves how we are connected to anything and everything, everybody. We're all taking in the same air. We're all taking it in. We're all sharing it. You don't have your own air. Okay? No, no, no. We're all are living and moving and have our being in the same atmosphere, the same creative force and energy. And I say thank you because all of the places that you could be right now, you're here. And I know that it's no accident that we are here by divine appointment. We are here to awaken from the hypnotic trances that we have been in. We are here to rededicate and to reclaim the truth of who we are. We're here to reawaken to universal spiritual principles and to practically apply them to everything that's going on in the world. So, whatever it is that transpires here, we bless it. We bless it ahead of time. And I invite you, as you listened, to do a couple of things. One, to translate whatever it is that you need to translate into a language that makes sense to you. I may use the word God. You may not relate to that. You could call it life. You could call it the universe, the great I am, the whatever. Okay. But everybody believes in something. Okay. So whatever your something is, I invite you to translate it into that terms. Perhaps you come from other religious or spiritual traditions. But here's the thing, that it doesn't matter how it's packaged, the truth is still the truth. Don't throw it out because it's not languaged the way that you would language. A rose is still a rose, okay, by any other name. The other thing I'm going to invite you to do is to take whatever it is that I'm saying and start to immediately apply it to different things. Okay? Because it's the same principles that work everywhere. There's not different principles for the micro, for the personal, for the macro, for the global, or the collective. It's the same stuff. So you might ask yourself, well, what would this look like in my financial affairs? What would this look like in my marriage? What would this look like in my at my job? What how does this work? How does this apply? What would this look like in the economy? What would it look like in politics? Because the more ways that you can look at the same thing, the deeper the understanding that you get. There is an analogy that comes up often in my spirit letters, some of which are published in a series. Actually, you see the books right behind me, The Sacred Yes and Your Deepest Intent. And I get these downloads. And one of the analogies that's made sometimes is that of a diamond, that as human beings, we are like diamonds in the rough. And it explains that what happens with a diamond is that you put cuts on it. Okay. And the cuts are facets. Okay. So you cut it this way and this way and this way and that way, like all these different cuts. And that the diamonds that shine the brightest are the ones with the most cuts on them. Okay. It lets the light in. And it becomes like a prism where there's just this rainbow reflection of colors that happens. and let the cuts be for gladness. Okay. So every time you're able to take a spiritual principle and look at it from a different perspective, apply it from a different perspective, you're putting another cut on your diamond, the diamond that's you, so that more light can shine through you and your true colors can shine. Okay, breathe that in. Breathe that in. We're going to go over the inner light purpose statement just as a reminder of what brings us all here and the things that our deepest hearts are committed to. Inner light is an open, diverse, inclusive community of individuals and organizations dedicated to spiritual transformation. We provide tools for activating higher possibilities by applying universal spiritual principles to all circumstances. Our aim is personal and global healing through the omni-faith energy of love and the revealing of our own inner light. Promoting life's sacred interconnectedness, we embody spiritual oneness, appreciate individualized expressions, and honor all paths that lead to spiritual truth, justice, and ecological regeneration. So just breathe that in. We're not trying to convert you to anything. Whatever your practice is, you are welcome here. We're just about that underlying stuff, that stuff that cuts across time and history and culture and tradition. The truth cannot be patented anywhere. So if you were any place and they're telling you that they have the truth and it's not resonating in your soul and you can't see it reflected in any other traditions, run. Okay, run. Because when you hit upon the truth, you know it, and it's going to resonate deep within your soul. It isn't something that has to be put upon you that you learn from the outside. It's reawakened from the inside. Take a breath. So one of the tools that we offer are 100 words every week. These are affirmative activations. They are principles and policies. They are protocols. They're perspectives, different ways, perceptions, different ways of practice. Okay? And if you are able to, I'm going to invite you to say these along with me as they appear on your screen. There's only one of us here. Our fates are intertwined. I can never be fully who I am until you are fully who you are. Through our interconnectedness, we have the power to bless each other. I refrain from anything that is not uplifting. I'm careful about how I spend my time, resources, and money. My conversations are clean and considerate. I speak words of encouragement and reconciliation. My actions create a greater sense of aliveness. I empower by sharing my power, which I do without hesitation or reservation. I leave a legacy of empowerment wherever I go. Just breathe this in. Just sit with it for a moment. Notice if there's anything that your soul is just going, oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Maybe it's there's only one of us here. Our fates are intertwined. Something within you goes, yeah, I'm with that. Maybe it's through our interconnectedness, we have the power to bless each other. Something within you is just, yes. Notice if there's anything that's calling you up a little bit, where you might have to stretch or grow some to really put this into action. Maybe it's something like, I refrain from anything that is not uplifting. Or I leave a legacy of empowerment wherever I go. Or I'm careful about how I spend my time, resources, and money. Just note it. Okay. This is to introduce you, just to introduce you to it. But it has its salience. It has its lasting power when we embody it. And we can only embody through repetition, by coming back to it and letting it sink in, saying it over and over, putting it in places that are easy for us to get reinforcement. So I want to encourage you now to, if you're on a computer or something like that, take a screenshot. Maybe you might want to grab your phone and take a picture so you have it with you. You can find the affirmations on our website, innerlightministries.org. You can also come back to this particular episode on our YouTube channel, where it will be archived. The point is to come back. Okay, share it and come back. Pay particular attention to those things that are calling you up and out. Let's take a breath. And to further help to cultivate the consciousness for our message today, as we're talking about how we're leaving a legacy of empowerment. That's our topic today. We're going to listen to a Motown oldie but goodie with a little new twist on it, by Brandy and Babyface and some other folks that are young hip hop artists today.
Wake up, wake up. You've got the power. You've got
my people in the East, yo, you gotta wake up. Midwest, dirty South, yo, you gotta stand up. All my homies in the West, yo, you gotta wake up.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up.
Wake up, everybody, no more sleeping in bed. No more backwards thinking, time for thinking ahead. The world has changed so very much from what it used to be. There's so much hatred, war and poverty. Wake up, all the teachers, time to teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen to what you have to say. 'Cause they're the ones who's coming up. The world is in their hands. When you teach the children, teach them the best you can.
Scream peace, do we mean it? Can you feel it when we scream it out loud? Do you believe that we need it? Do you believe that it could get right? Do you believe that the children of the world deserve a good life? Well, if you do, it's time to wake up your mind. We can make it better, and I know it might take some time, but we gotta start somewhere. How about with you and me? From us it goes to others, then we'll have our unity.
All
the doctors make the old people well. They're the ones who suffer, who catch all the hell. But they don't have so very long before the judgment day. So won't you make them happy before they pass away?
Wake up all the builders, time to build a new land. I know we can do it, long as we lend a hand. The only thing we have to do is put it in our minds, and surely things will work out, 'cause they do it every time.
I ain't here to take up y'all time. I came to shake up y'all mind. It's everybody's wake up call time. I can't sleep too long. Why they do the people wrong? Let's clean the world up before they sweep you gone. This is real talk. You can peep through songs. So when you feel weak, these words will keep you strong and help make a change for the better. It's hard for one to do it, but we can make some changes together. Set a goal, put a plan up here. We gotta stand up here and give thanks to the man upstairs. Put the egos and the pride to the side regardless. And just be role models, parents, artists. We can make it change or we can make it the hardest. If you gonna make a baby, you should make them the smartest. Let them know good and bad, right from wrong. How to roll with the punches when life moves on. And the stress won't take toll if you don't sweat it. World won't get no better if we don't let it. Let the negative energy ride. Keep hope alive. It's about time that we open our eyes. Wake up.
Everybody, no more sleeping in bed. No more backward thinking, time for thinking ahead. The world has changed so very much from what it used to be. There's so much hatred, war and poverty. Wake up, 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 wake up.
Yeah, well, y'all best to vote. I don't care about the guns you tote. Listen to me like you listen to Fahrenheit 9/11. Ain't no time for the second guessing. The words I speak, wake up. The ones who sleep in the leadership's fix your mouth to teach. MCs teach the kids with peace. They don't have to worry about the police. We make them rich so they don't have the thief. Every artist here on this track. We'll make a change here for young cats. This is for everybody, white or black. You better go and vote and get up off your back. This life rolls on, lift your head, get your voice up. You see the power of the people, it's a choice to ignite love. Now the choice is a gift that our people have to fight for. And the fight's far too personal for anyone to ignore. Voice to be heard. Take the opportunity. The responsibility. Your voice has to be heard. Save the world, save the world.
Oh, yeah. We just breathed that in. A nice intergenerational version. Wake up, everybody. Talking about a legacy of empowerment. You know, a legacy is what you leave behind. Just let that sink in for a moment. And what you leave behind isn't just like what's left after you die. A legacy is literally what you leave behind. Like what happens as the rippling effect of your presence, of your actions. You know, there is something that I want to share. Hold on. I didn't know that I was going to do this, but I was looking at this earlier today. It's something that I learned in Girl Scouts like years ago. See if I can make this bigger. It's a poem called Drop a Pebble in the Water. I don't know if you ever heard that one or not. Let me see if I can see it from here this small. It's drop a pebble in the water, just a splash, and it is gone. But there's a half a hundred ripples circling on and on, spreading from the center, flowing out into the sea. And there's no way of telling where the end is going to be. Drop a pebble in the water, in a moment you forget. But there are little wavelets of flowing, and there's ripples circling yet. And those little waves of flowing in a great big wave have grown. You've disturbed a mighty river just by throwing in a stone. Drop an unkind word or careless, in a minute it is gone. But there's a half a hundred ripples circling on and on. They keep spreading from the center as they go. And there's no way to stop them once you have started them to flow. Drop an unkind word or careless. In a minute, you forget. But there are little wavelets of flowing, and there's ripples circling yet. And perhaps in some sad heart, a mighty wave of tears you stirred and disturbed a life once happy as you dropped that unkind word. Drop a word of cheer and kindness, just a flash, and it is gone. But there are half a hundred ripples circling on and on, bearing hope and joy and comfort on each splashing, dashing wave, till you wouldn't believe the volume of the one kind word you gave. Drop a word of cheer and kindness. In a minute, you forget. But there's gladness still a swelling, and there's joy circling yet. And you rolled a wave of comfort whose sweet music can be heard over miles and miles of water, just by dropping one kind word. Let that sink in. That's what I mean by legacy. Legacy is the instant rippling effect of anything and everything that you're doing, saying, thinking, even feeling. Take a breath. Take a couple more. You know, I don't like to be a doom and gloom person. However, there are these moments, and like the moments that we're in now, where it feels irresponsible particularly as clergy, not to speak loudly and boldly about some of the things that are going on. Not so much for criticism, but for us to be shaken out of our complacency and realizing the spiritual work that is before us to do. I want to talk a moment about the legacy of the ICE detention camps that are going up all over the nation. There's at least half a dozen now in the state of California, where this ministry, Santa Cruz, is headquartered in the Santa Cruz area of California. Take a breath. I know it's nothing anybody wants to hear about or wants to talk about. I remember when I was a junior in high school, I had the same social studies teacher as a sophomore and a junior. Really, really loved this woman. Even 30 years after I'd finished high school, I was still visiting her. We had that kind of relationship. And she did something bold where she broke down history, American history, into these different quarters and segments, and it was American history looked through the eyes of different people. Now, mind you, I grew up in an area with a very heavy Japanese American population. They represented about a third of the population in junior high, about a quarter of the high school population that I graduated from. And for reasons that I don't even want to go into now about biases in the education system, I was in the advanced placement classes with the Japanese kids. They were my predominant classmates in the classroom, regardless of whatever the population of the school was at any given point in time. And I remember when the segment came up about the Japanese internment camps in the state of California. And I was aghast. I was just aghast. And I was particularly unnerved by the silence, that no one had said anything. Okay. That the parents of my friends were in these camps. I mean, people I knew were in these camps. And I had no idea that the camps had even existed, because there was that much silence around it with everyone. I have reason to believe that some of my relatives in World War II might have even been a part of the deportation from their homes into these camps. I don't have physical proof, but when I put together bits and pieces of stories that I heard, I have every reason to believe that. My freshman year in college, I did a term paper on these internment camps. And I remember one of the things that shocked me the most was how the Supreme Court would not rule on the constitutionality of what happened to these individuals, most of whom were actual U.S. citizens who were put into these detention camps simply because of their Japanese heritage. The suspicion that somehow or another, particularly along a coast, could somehow help and aid and abet Japanese to attack our mainland like Pearl Harbor had been attacked. Now, mind you, there was never any evidence of anything like that going on. And what struck me, and if I'm not mistaken, I think his name was DeWitt, who was the commander in chief of the area, that what was said was that he had the authority to make the decision. Okay. Not whether it was right or wrong, not whether it was just or not, but simply he had the legal authority to make the decision. Now, years later, they did in fact get reparation, like some physical reparations for items that had been confiscated and businesses that had been lost. It was something. I mean, but you can't make up for anything, like that. Take a breath. We've always kept these camps up. We've kept them running with the electricity and everything else. But these detention centers that we're talking about, they are far worse than these camps. They are far worse than prisons. I'm not trying to extol like prisons as this wonderful place. But you do have a few things in prison. You have some place to sleep. You get visitors. There's some times when the lights go out. There are clergy that come around. There are religious services. You do get outside at some particular point in time. You get phone calls. You're allowed to have books, and there's reading materials and things that are around. There's opportunities for communal whatever, to go to the cafeteria, to sit and watch a movie or whatever. There are these different things that go on. You can get a shower. You can take a bath. Okay. The things that I'm talking about now, you don't have in detention centers. You don't have them. Take a breath. What I'm about to say is not easy to hear. We are putting people in cages. Cages. We are converting warehouses and putting thousands of people in a warehouse, in cages where there are no beds, there's no furniture, there's not even room enough for people to all stand up at the same time. These cages are being built out the way that they're built out in El Salvador, where we first started shipping people, where it's like tiered, where in a cage you might have 2 or 3 levels, and just within that cage, some people are going to have to be sitting crunched up on that little level, and somehow or another they're going to have to work it out in sleeping, because everybody can't stand at the same time in this cage. The lights are on 24/7. There are no beds. There's no sanitary products for the women. There's no fresh water. Or they might do something like put the water fountain coming out on top of the toilet tank. People are dying in these prisons. The conditions are beyond awful. They don't even have room. There's not even space like to talk to a lawyer, let alone get a visitor or something. We're paying for this. This is us. This is our money. There are over 60,000 people now in these, and they're pushing hard to try to make it over 100,000. Take a breath. I spent a month in Ghana in 2010 with Brother Ishmael Tete. And the first full day that I was there, Brother Tete took Valerie Joy, my ex-wife, and I to the slave dungeons at Cape Coast and left us. Okay. OMG. I'm so traumatized by that. I still haven't actually spoken yet of what I saw. And I'm conscious of the fact that the silence is part of what helps to keep that going. So one of the things that really struck me about how horrific these conditions were, where literally hundreds of bodies were pushed into these areas where it was just stone, no windows, like warehouses don't have any windows, just like little ports just to let like some air ventilation like way up at the top. But just clearly, and I couldn't imagine how could you do this? How could you build stuff like this for people? They weren't built for people. And that's the only kind of relief I got. Not that, just that, okay, these weren't deliberately built for people. When you see these slave dungeons, you can see that they were forts. And it's the most extraordinary thing because the cannons are still lining the top. And when you look over, like what you would see over from the door of no return, it is the most beautiful water in the world. It looks like Big Sur, just exquisitely beautiful. And what would happen here is the English and the French and the Dutch and the Spaniards and the Portuguese, like all of these slave trading groups would fight each other out. But here's what happened. They were already raping the continent of its ivory and its gold and the jewels and all of the rest of that, storing it in these warehouses. So when it got to the point where they started making people also what they stole and traded, they put people in these warehouses as cargo. That's what we're doing. The legacy of that consciousness is still alive and well, and that's what we're doing. We are cramming people into warehouse spaces that was designed for cargo. And we have the administration even saying that they intend to ship people out of these detention centers with the same accuracy and speed as FedEx does cargo. They've literally said that. Take a breath. Here's the thing. We know that the people don't deserve this. They've not been convicted of any crimes. They're being held without any hearings. who knows how long and being shipped out all over the place. And we can be up in arms about the way that they're being treated, as well we should be. But what we need to be up in arms about is us. Listen to what I'm saying. It's not the fact just how they're being treated, but the fact that we're doing it. It's like this difference between slavery and enslavement. Slavery speaks of the people who were enslaved, but enslavement speaks of the consciousness of those doing the enslaving. Okay. And this is where we have the problem now, spiritually speaking. We may have cut down a little bit on technical actual slavery, but whatever that consciousness is that made us as a nation think we had the right to do that is alive and well. Listen to what I'm saying. Take a breath. This isn't just about is something unconstitutional. We know all this stuff is illegal. We already know all that. But where we're not pushing back enough is that we don't have the right. Spiritually speaking, God has not given us the right to treat other people like this. And the only reason why all of this is going on is because we have a whole administration and Project 2025 and all of them that are putting forth that it is their right. Okay, listen to what I'm saying. So whether it's legal or not, whether it's constitutional or not, the wars, the bombing, they're still going about and acting as though they have been given a God-given right and increasingly invoking the name of God, particularly Christianity, as a justification for all of this and the reason why they've been granted the right. No, people of faith, in particular, those of us who believe in God, those of us who know justice and equality and fairness as being right and divine order, have to say no. And I mean loudly and clearly. Please hear the nuance of the difference of what I am saying here. It's okay to protest. It's okay. And we should all do that and fight for the rights of people and how they're treated and how they're mistreated. And kudos to Minneapolis for being out there in the freezing weather and really standing up to ice. But we got to go deeper. Like King Jr. said, that in the end, what won't matter so much is the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. I used to wonder, how did it happen? How did the Holocaust happen? Like, what was going on in Germany? Like, and these places, how could you not see? How could you not challenge it? It's one thing to pray for the people who are being detained and the people who are being bombed. And it's another thing to pray for the healing of the consciousness. The healing of the consciousness of the ones who are doing the bombing, of the ones who are doing the detaining. Take a breath. Take another breath. And to pray for them as though we are brothers and sisters of the divine. Take a breath. It's like a family matter. It's like a family issue where you've got the abuser and the abused in your family. You got to pray for everybody for the healing of the family, not just the abused. Because whatever it is that abuser was doing, they're just a grown-up abused. Show me a child molester, and I'll show you an adult that was molested as a child. This stuff goes on and on. It's cycles of abuse. It's cycles of abuse. So this stuff that we're seeing now, it's not new. It's not new. I remember looking at a Rachel Maddow show, and she was showing the floor plan for one of these detention centers. And it looked just like a slave ship. And she said, does this look familiar? Does it look familiar? I know prison. I've been in and out of prisons for 25 years. The one we went to the most, Pleasant Valley State Prison, 5,000 inmates, is 640 acres. It's 640 acres. When we're talking about building the biggest prisons that we've had, don't get fooled. It's not the size that's making them big. It's the population amount that's making them big, but in the smallest space. So where Pleasant Valley State Prison has 5,000 inmates in 640 acres, and these detention centers, you'll have 5,000 people in less than 50,000 square feet. No, this is not the legacy that we want to continue. It is the legacy we have inherited. It's not new. It's not new, but it can end if we go for the ending of it, not just the effect, not just the outer end, not just teaching the symptoms, not just the byproduct. I'm talking about the root causation. At the level of cause, that's where we deal as metaphysicians. To heal that, to heal the sense of supremacy that's underneath all of this. Are you praying for that? And are you praying for it out of love? Listen to what I'm saying. Not just, I can't wait to the midterm so we can take over the, Congress. No, not just when we get more powerful so we can overpower them. Because it's just two sides trying to overpower each other. But can we heal that need, that desire to be powerful over anybody at all? That's our charge now. That's the legacy that we have to start living. It's no mistake that the insurrectionists were carrying the Confederate flag through the White House on January 6th? Because we're still fighting the Civil War. It's never ended. We've never ended the consciousness behind it. We're still fighting this right for our own growth and protection and prosperity and whatnot, to treat other people like property or chattel, or just do whatever it is that we want to do to them for our own betterment and station in life. It's got to go. And we can heal it. Can't heal what you don't feel. We have to feel this stuff first. But we can heal it. And I'm calling on you to pray not just for the downtrodden, but to pray for the healingness of the consciousness that makes anybody think that they've got a spiritual right to do wrong. Let us pray. Let us pray. Oh, Mother, Father, God, Spirit Almighty, we are truly here for such a time as this, to speak power unto truth and truth unto power, to remember, to recognize, to recognize the sovereignty of the divine. Oh, yeah. There's only one power. There's only one presence. It is everywhere, and it's made everything out of itself. We're all infused with the characteristics of the divine. Each of us has purpose. Each of us meaning and value, reasons for being. Thank you, God. And in this moment right now, I speak this word for the upliftment of everyone, for the cleansing, the purging, the purification of the entire legacy of humanity. That we treat each other well, that we treat the planet well, that we treat the animal, the winged ones, the creepy crawly. We just live in one complete ecosystem where everything is dependent upon everything else. Become as good stewards to dress and to keep the garden, to protect it, to do our part for its ongoing sustainability, to make sure that the next generation are able to flourish in mind, body, and spirit. We're here as stewards. We're here as custodians. We're here as trustees. Earth doesn't even belong to us. We're just passing through. We're just the ones caring for it now. So in this moment right now, Mother, Father, God, I say, create in us a clean heart. Renew a right spirit within us, so that we may use all of the power that we have for goodness, for greatness, for equality, for justice, for wholeness. I call forth in this moment peace, the peace that passes all human understanding, an end to war and violence and degradation and dehumanization. I call forth food and clothing and shelter, health care, compassion, opportunity, sustainable energy, working together in a world that blesses us all. This is where we stand. This is where we live. Give us the strength. Give us the courage. Give us the fortitude. Give us the compassion, the patience, and the forgiveness to do all the reconciliation that is before us to do. We breathe that in. We're grateful for blessings large and small, too numerous to even count. We get out of the way and we let the God that rules the universe rule our lives. And so it is, so it is. We're praying community here. You see, scrolling across your screen is the way that you can reach our prayer ministry. You can give us a call at 831-465-9090 at extension 254. You can also send us an email. The number 4 and the word prayer at innerlightministries.com. We have prayer practitioners who are standing by. They are ready to serve you. Nothing canned. All confidential. Ready to bless you. No charge. All gifts and offerings are greatly appreciated. But don't go it alone. Don't go it alone. Thank you. Take that breath. Yes, yes, yes. I invite you to go to our website and check out our newsletter, different things and opportunities that are going on. I want to bring one of them to your attention right now, which is a collaboration that we do every month. And it's called Pulled by Vision. Pulled by Vision. It's where we use visioning techniques and we apply them to social political issues, big stuff like democracy and immigration and economics and global relationships and healthcare and the environment. And we operate in small groups, small facilitated groups, like, 3-4 people. And we have a chance to learn how to no longer be pushed by pain as we take a look at what do we say about these things and then vision and compare our visions with what it is that we usually say. And we have a chance to adjust, to practice what it means to be pulled by vision so that we can not only recalibrate our own energy and our own frequency, but so that we can help to uplift the public discourse. Okay. It's free. You can use the QR code there. Or the tiny URL. It's every second Saturday from 10 to noon. I want to invite you to attend. Take a breath. One more thing about this, Pulled by Vision. The world is hungry. The world is hungry for this consciousness. So not only does your participation help you, you help to create the space for other people. Listen to what I'm saying. As a community, we need to show up. We need to model for people how it is that you apply spiritual principles to the circumstances that are going on. So when they watch you being vulnerable, as they watch you speaking your truths and recalibrating, envisioning, and making that commitment to go upstairs in consciousness, you invite other people to join you. So this is a collaborative adventure that we do here. The facilitators come from a lot of different spiritual communities, a lot of my colleagues who also have their own churches that they pastor. It's just this wonderful offering that we have where people are saying like, well, what can I do? You can do this. Okay. And really make a dent, really make a difference somewhere. Okay. So I really want to invite you to do that. And another place that you can really make a difference is in your contributions, your financial contributions. We are an independent spiritual community, and literally we are doing all of our programming and everything off of whatever it is that you're giving. So if this message means anything to you, if you find yourself coming back to this, or sharing it, we ask you to make a contribution. Make a contribution. On your screen, you'll see that there are numerous ways in which you're able to do that. You can use the QR code that lets you use any debit card, credit card, or PayPal if you like. You can use any debit or credit card with the text to give. Also, any bank account that you might have. You can use Cash App. You can use Zelle. Don't use the Venmo right at this moment. We're fixing to tweaking that. It's a little slow in getting it done. If you're on our website, you can see there's a donate button that's right there, or you might want to mail something in to our P.O. box that's there. But regardless of whatever methodology that you use, know that all of it is going towards healing. It's going towards transformation. It's going towards us providing the places and spaces and forums for us to grow, for us to remember, for us to connect, for us to heal and to transform. For those of you who are giving and who are pledging and giving on a recurring option, which I highly, highly encourage all of you to do, you are the backbone of our fiscal stability. And I just want to say thank you. And let's bless these gifts and tithes right now. I say that my every act produces abundance. I dare to give freely unto the truth that sets us free. I release this gift, knowing that it returns to me, knowing that it returns to us 1,000-fold. It's not a one-way street. Your generosity returns to you. Take a breath. It has been an honor once again being here with you. Please visit our website, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us in social media, share this message with other people. Come back, visit it. Please do the affirmations. And until we meet again, take this consciousness and multiply it. See you next week.